All right, welcome back, guys. Back to the We Out of Time here. This is your host with the most, Alex, and today we have three guests. With our first guest of the evening, first time here, I'll allow him to introduce himself.
Oh, it's me. That's me, Drew. What's up, everybody? I'm Drew from Beer on Doomsday. If you got like a plug to maybe subscribe to us, yeah, welcome to be here.
Okay. And of course, who can forget the other guest? Aaron, you got the mic, bro.
Aaron, I'm right here.
He's high, bro.
Fuck this guy. Yours truly, Armando. What's up, guys?
So, the crew's all here, boys and girls. We can't let anyone be out of this. So tonight, guys, we're going to try to keep it as clean as possible. We got a few topics to go over with. And if we don't get to them, hey, you know what? It happens. We're going to talk about the latest event. It happened over last week. The school shooting from not just a typical school shooter. This was a trans shooter shooting up a elementary school. And I don't know if everybody's heard about this or seen about this, but I'm going to go around the room, see what y'all, if y'all heard about this. Let's start with the special guest of honor today, Drew. Drew, have you heard about this?
Well, I have heard some, obviously, the headlines, but that's about it. So, if you guys want to, let's tell me what exactly happened. Like a trans person went in and shot up. It was a school at a church, right?
Was it?
It was.
I think it was at a church. Oh, do I know
I'm not
more than y'all?
Yeah, I think you know more than us apparently. 'Cause I thought it was just a school.
I'm gonna say what I know.
Okay, tell us what you know.
It was a trans individual that shot up a church, I believe. She entered through the front and shot out the doors, and then proceeded to murder 3 innocent children and adults.
Okay.
For what? I don't know. Why?
Supposedly, it was like 6 people died throughout the whole shooting. It was like 3 kids and 3 adults, I'm pretty sure. The kids were like 9 years old, from what I heard.
Is it an issue that she was trans, or I'm not sure.
This individual?
Was it an issue that the individual was trans, or was it just like she also happens to be trans?
I feel like she just happens to be a trans person that went off on a limb to do whatever she felt like doing, or the individual felt like doing that day, or what have you. But I seen the body cams angle and perspective of the lawman that actually subdued the suspect. 2 different teams infiltrated the facility at different angles, and bro, they were tactically clearing out doors and hallways and whatnot and what have you, and they closed it on the suspect, and they did what they were supposed to do.
They took out the individual, that was killing innocents. That's what they were doing.
I did hear about what Mondo just was talking about. She shot at them first, and then they shot back, and they landed the final blow on her.
There was even like one of the cops was behind both of the beginning, the 2 first places that were beginning the assault. I guess you could say the siege. The cop in the back had a pistol, and he was like pushing the cops in the front, like, "Go, you guys!" And they were like being scared, like, and he was like, "Move, move, move!" And he rushed forward, and as soon as he seen her, he put some in her, bro. It was pretty crazy. I was like, man.
If you see the footage, you actually see that once they shot the individual down, they kept shooting to make sure that that person wasn't get back up. They double tapped. You know what I mean? Because that's from what I saw. They were like individual down, and they just put like 2-3 more shots into him to make sure they don't get back up.
I saw a picture. It looked like she was wearing a vest. So. Or
the video that
the individual was wearing a vest, because and if in the case of they were wearing a vest, I would definitely double tap, because you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've seen enough horror movies, bro, where people get back up.
Was pretty graphic, so they had the actual body blurred from the shots. So I didn't even know she was having protection.
I didn't know about the body armor or not either, but yeah, the horror movies, you got to double tap, bro. They always tell you double tap, because you never know that person's getting back up, man.
I think that's only in Zombieland, though.
Yeah, I mean, Zombieland aside, I think when you're putting the map together, you know what I mean? You hear like assault rifle, murdering little children. bulletproof vest. You know what I mean? If I got a clip, I'm taking the whole clip. Like,
Have you guys seen those?
this is what they came for, right? You
That's
know?
low. It's kind of, you're right.
If there was other things that I heard that like this person was assessing other areas to go to and like
Really?
had literally like notes written down and like shit like
bro?
literally shit like like writing down quote unquote was the threat level assessment on places. So she decided, or they decided, the individual decided not to go to certain places due to
High
amount of
security.
security and stuff, and it's already like, all right.
So
like,
basically, she went to the
your
most
your
convenient
enemy
place.
is 9-year-olds.
What?
Like,
Unarmed 9-year-olds.
yeah, unarmed 9-year-olds. Like, oh, these ones are what, a little rowdy. We're not gonna go over here.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I seen a clip. It was like a protection for the classrooms and stuff. In the corner of the classroom is a corner that the teacher would pull out, and it turns into like a half cube. And all the students would rush in there, and a bulletproofing case zone in the corner of the classroom.
Damn, that's
So I don't know if that was implemented in this
hey,
school or
that's
not.
crazy that schools have that.
But it's kind
implemented.
of sad though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, it is
I
sad.
used to not be a part
Not
of
sad,
like
fucked up.
arm the teachers, but fuck it, arm the teachers. Like arm everybody at this point.
Well, I feel like that's like a double-edged sword because sometimes the teachers
Of course, it's a double-edged sword.
get into it with students. And
Yeah, I
stuff.
seen those videos too, where the teachers and students are getting
You got
at
a bunch
it.
of motherfuckers running around double-edged swords. You better give me a double-edged sword too.
That's true.
Like,
Either that or arm the principal. You know what I mean? At least the principal should be holding one a banger. You know?
To be honest, I think they should like, you know how the individual shot the door open because it was made out of glass. Maybe put some bars on the
Yeah,
damn
that's what he
door.
was saying. That she sieged the building to get in, like removing the side. What is the glass?
yeah, she shot out the glass
To-
front
to get in through,
doors,
yeah.
and then like started like entering. She had a whole like game plan about, or they
Yeah,
had a whole
this
game plan.
this one's just like spur of the moment shit. This was planned.
And then end of the excuse me, at the end of the video that I had seen, she was perched up in the window, shooting out the window, the second floor, because the window was already shattered.
Yeah, and in the
Where
video,
final showdown was gonna go down
Yeah.
at, and like whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? I don't know why like you make a game plan for this type of deal. What you think you're gonna accomplish?
feel like
what
I
part
would-
of history you think you're even gonna get written down in?
Yeah, true.
Even like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say you just throw it all down and like on like the paper of the matter, right? If she had any type of vendetta that put her in the right of trying to fucking take violence on anybody at all, she's still not gonna go down in the books of fucking being in the right.
I feel like the
don't
only
know
one that
where
should go
she
down in the
thought-
books that has fought against the law enforcement is Donner.
why
You
would
bring
you?
up a
Well,
very controversial
That's
subject. I like
Donner,
that.
bro. That's the only one
Oh, I
that should go
should've
down in
said
the
that.
books against Donner, bro, because he was a whistleblower that ended up getting like snuffed by his own department. So
I mean, that was a bunch of unfortunate series of events. That's for sure.
But well, my
Fucking-
main topic was that I don't know how an individual can conjure up so much malice and hate towards a child. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's definitely. I think that's the mental health part of all of it. You know what I mean? If you can bring like a like any type of anything that puts a hole inside of somebody, much less a fucking child, where it's just gonna make them die. Like you gotta. There's somebody you need to be talking to about this. Something, yeah.
Well, speaking of making history, guys, I don't know if you guys heard, but before the whole like when she infiltrated the building, one of the kids, one of the middle schoolers that died, or elementary schools one of the little girls, she heard someone breaking into the school, and she pulled the fire alarm. So she literally warned everybody.
and he killed her.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, she's a hero.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like she literally pulled the fire alarm to tell
What a
everyone.
tragic hero, though. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, what a tragic ass hero. Like, what the fuck?
That shit's
No,
fucked up.
Yeah.
How many people got
But,
saved
like,
because of
how
that?
fucking bullshit is that our fucking children are trained to fucking listen for a fucking gunshot while I'm here at third grade
Yeah.
at church.
Yeah, you know, like
Trying to fucking learn my 2+2s.
yeah, and they
And I gotta
gotta.
listen for a motherfucker with an automatic rifle, bro. because they upset about whatever the fuck is going on. Like literally whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck what.
Like, yeah,
the
what
fuck.
the effect is.
Upset that
Like,
person that day,
Yeah, like I mean, I'm a father. I got children. Like even if somebody were to like kill my children in the worst way possible, that's not gonna get solved by me fucking going to a school and shooting up people. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's why like at this point it's just like I almost feel like the only way to stop it is to make sure that like I mean if these motherfuckers are making threat assessment levels on it, then
Make the
my
schools more
motherfucking school
gotta be
a
like
higher
top threat. Yeah, you
the
know.
fucking the fucking bookkeeper that counts the goddamn money there is strapped up. You know what I mean?
The librarian.
Like I might cross the wrong fucking kindergarten teacher and
Facts.
get blasted before my fucking ass parks the fucking car. That's the only, that's really the only way around it.
Yeah, because they obviously saw the school as an easy target, right? So if the school had a little, not saying more security, but a bit like more ways
The
to.
presence of like.
What about a shooting a little bit? I do know about the one unfortunately that happened just not even that more long ago, where like the kid he shot up like the funeral home and like a couple stores, and then he busted up into like the school like field and was popping off shots in the field for like a couple. Was that Uvalde or some shit? I think that was Uvalde. Yeah, I think that was Uvalde. And like, yeah, so think about it like this, right? So like, imagine if this shit was like in a neighborhood where everybody was strapped up. Already, one neighbor would have heard this shit going off. Like, motherfucker, like enough.
Like, who are you just like? Who was just over just letting off shots? Like me, like most of my family were used to the ghetto bird going off and hearing gunshots like, growing up in LA and whatnot. And me personally, I've never experienced. Well, I experienced a victim running across. Excuse me, I'm bad. Personal experience. I was living in some apartments called Brentwoods at Jefferson Elementary School. It was next door to the apartments. I was at recess and some individual hopped the gate, leaking blood out of his stomach because he was just stabbed in an altercation that happened outside the schoolyard. So he hopped into the gate and looking for help from the security and the teachers and whatnot, and they wouldn't help him. And dude limped across the whole yard to the side of the fence and then collapsed when he hopped the fence. And then the recess was just watching him like. So you have like 80 to like 100 kids on the recess in the playground watching this individual limp across the whole playground to the field, leaking, to hop a fence to fall on his face.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's
like,
just like terrible.
come on, bro.
That's just a person in help that fucking came across the wrong people.
Yeah, but so it's just like it sucks that like, well, the teachers and everybody's first priority was the kids. You know what I mean? So
but it's like get everybody inside. But
And
I
then-
mean, if this motherfucker's
yeah.
leaking, like,
oh, it was bad.
stay the fuck still, bro. Stay the fuck right there and don't go nowhere. We'll get these kids up inside. We'll call the hospital. Don't go nowhere if you want some help. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. Motherfuckers that are leaking like that and like running around, they don't want the type of help that's gonna help
Yeah,
them.
because
You know what I
9 out
mean?
of 10, they're gonna be doing some illegal actions that got them where they are.
They're hoping the fucking school nurse used to be a fucking field surgeon and give me a hot pan real quick. You know what I mean?
I gotta
Like,
categorize this real quick, like,
and then she's
start
just gonna,
stitching
like,
shit up.
Wink at him like, "Hey, we got you. We're not gonna call nobody about this." Yeah, you know, like what the fuck?
Look, Drew, let me be for real with you.
Oh, here we
They're
go.
just gonna give you a bag of ice and tell you to go home. Amcare. You're welcome.
I don't know what that is. The school nurse though might say that.
I can tell you it's a nurse company, but yeah, they're just gonna give you a bag of ice. Just walk it off. You're fine. It'll stop.
Rub a little dirt on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's,
Right? Like
walk
my
it
dad
off.
used to say, "Walk it off."
Yeah, there you go. Walk it off. Yeah,
Walk off that blood off yourself.
you know, just.
It would never happen.
But nah, school shootings are definitely in the joke about those. So like to all the surviving individuals that happened to, God willingly left the premises alive and everything intact, God bless them.
yo, these school shootings are becoming more common, and that's not a good thing.
Some bullshit. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, we heard Armando's final thoughts. Aaron's, your final thoughts on the school shooting, bro? Anything you want to say about it?
It's just really messed up that what happened. All I do know is someone did know that this was gonna happen because she texted someone on an app called Snapchat. Yeah, she messaged one, like, I guess like a friend or something, saying, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, but it's because everyone else was saying other stuff. But she messaged a friend on Snapchat saying that she was gonna do, like, that she felt sad that she was gonna do this, and he thought like she was just playing around, and she was like, no, I'm not playing around. So he reported it to the cops, saying that, yo, there's gonna be this type of school shooting. So that's why the cops showed up in the video. Yeah, so they kind of knew that.
That better not be true, because then those cops showed up hella. That better not be true, because those cops showed up hella fucking late. Like that would piss me off.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I better not fucking find that shit out. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, showing up that fucking late. That's how many people fucking died? 6 people? Like, bro, 6 people. That's forever. They're gone forever. Like, I can't.
What about you, Drew? Your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is, if I found that out, I might show up to a fucking sheriff's office. Fucking like, nah. Like I said, the response is never fucking shooting everything up. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck is happening. And trust me, I'm sure we've all been through stuff that has made us just blind with anger, where you're just like, the first thing is like, I want this thing dead, and I want everything that tries to stop me in its way dead, like, just to prove a fucking point that I want to get across. You know what I mean? But that doesn't ever fucking make it the answer. And
was never towards a child either.
yeah, I think that's my final thoughts. Is that's bullshit. You're bullshit if you ever think that you're about to fucking go through with that shit. Don't do that shit. Trust me, there's other ways around it. Even if it's illicit drugs, go fucking do drugs instead of shooting children.
Okay. Well, my final thoughts is, I hate that, the United States is starting to be like stereotyped as a school shootings happening all the fucking time, because it's starting to feel like it is, and that's not cool, man. Because the kids didn't do nothing they didn't do nothing wrong, so why do they gotta be the ones that suffer from this, And it's a tragedy. That's all I gotta say, So I'm about to show you something, and I want to see your genuine reaction to it. Let me see what y'all think, okay? Okay, here we go.
God damn it.
What the? Is that like a
So that's a
donkey
dog.
leg? A dog?
Oh, it's a bat.
Oh my God! I see it. What the fuck is that hole on it? That's a.
I don't know what that is. Let's find out.
Oh, why me, bitch? I'm trying to.
I'm like hitting Aaron.
Yeah, fuck you.
Oh, that shit looks like fucking tapioca, bro. Like, what
looks
the
like
fuck?
nasty shampoo boiling up. Why is it so clear? I didn't see that part when I watched it.
He like watered it or something.
I'm looking at it, bro. That's so funny.
Why the fuck do they
Yeah,
keep
right,
taking
pull
it
it.
off camera and then bringing it back like
let's find
better
out.
and better? They should have fucking showed us on camera.
Okay, so
whatever they're
this
doing
area
right now.
of all dirt just looks like a fucking tick area. Like there's ticks all over this fucking area.
There's just a hole in this
Like-
dog. Oh, there's
like,
still
what the
like
fuck?
There's
eyeballs.
Yeah, this looks. I was gonna say they look like eyeballs.
Look at the fleas, bro. This dude has his dogs are infested.
With everything.
Oh man.
This dog just be better off dead.
Here you go.
What is he about to put eye drops in it? All
Come
right.
on, man.
Hey, some clear
Did
eyes.
you remember we were
dog.
talking about some homeless people's dogs
This
are
will
like
fix up that little hole real like nothing.
It's like powder.
This
Oh,
is
so-
cocaine. It solves all problems. Just put a little bit of fucking
Baking
2
soda.
grams of cocaine up in there.
a little bum never hurt nobody.
The fucking dog's about to die
Hey, no,
anyway.
let's finish it, dog. I want to wait. How long? Oh, it's 10 minutes. We shouldn't. Yeah, you're right. 10 minutes is too
What's
much.
going on?
But
Hey man, it's just giving him a good kick in the morning, you know.
So what happens after is that substance he threw on them, the substance he threw on them.
Fast forward it.
we want. Okay, fuck it. Let's spend like the last two. Oh, it's about to die. Well, let's get to the last minute.
Yeah, it just makes them all.
Oh!
It makes them come out.
No! What is
Yes.
God
Why am I
damn!
thinking to that?
He did
No.
put cocaine on it. Hit those fucking worms. Were like, fuck this shit, brother. We got the wrong dog. We got the wrong dog. What the fuck? Is
Yo, all I gotta say
Shoot
is that
that fucking puppy. Shoot that fucking puppy.
shoot on sight.
Have you never watched The Thing, bro?
Fucking
Yeah, god damn it.
Hey man, that's Chinese food
That
right
shit
there. That's all I gotta say.
Oh. They're just fucking playing around in the dog now.
Why
The
are
dog
you
is
touching
dead.
with a stick,
The
son?
dog is
He's taking
dead.
them off of him.
Why do you even want this dog
Why
anymore?
didn't you even use a chopstick to pull the fucking?
We should using like them
things out?
tongs.
I hope
Just
that
fucking fold the dog in half and squeeze him out at
Just
this
bend
point.
its
God,
back.
yeah,
Bro, all right.
no, I just
bro, that is the grossest shit I've ever seen in my life. Why?
I didn't even watch the video, and I'm like,
Who the fuck found this shit?
Yeah, how'd you find this? You just typed in nasty something or
that
what?
dog should be shot on sight.
Oh
Well,
my
have you guys ever
God.
seen those worms that cows get? Cows get these big ass maggot worms.
Okay.
That horseflies plant in them.
Are they're kind of like
So
the ones that
farmers-
bears begin and they be
Yes.
like dragging like 6
So
foot long
flies,
ropes out their
the
ass
farmers
and
come and pop
shit.
these big old pimples, and a fucking mean ass fat maggot comes out. And eventually turns into this ugly ass fly. Well, horseflies, you know horseflies are
Yeah.
big ass nasty motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's what those look like, bro.
All right, guys, and now this is a follow-up to last week's topic about bricks. Well, Drew was not here for it, so let's do a little recap about it. Armando, you want to recap, Drew, about bricks?
Yes, sir. So last week's episode was about BRICS, BR for Brazil and Russia, and then ICS for India, China, and South Africa. And what it is 5 of the major ball players basically on the global scale as far as economy and economics and foreign policies and whatnot, and just becoming an overall power of the world.
A superpower.
Yeah, and basically they're just like pushing to oust America as far as like currency and overall like in general, like not needing Americans at all. Period. So
And what currency are they using?
they're using their native currency, and they're currently going through transactions with the other nations to only have their currency go between them two and not the middleman, which is America.
Is this what's also funding Russia through the war with Ukraine?
Yeah.
So that's why their economy was able to fucking crash and come rebound within a year.
Was because of all that, yeah. Well, because like as I was telling you earlier off camera, was that some of the South Africa and all these other countries are oil trade companies, and they control a big oil trade, which is why like Bill Clinton, I was gonna say Bill Clinton for some reason. Biden implemented all that non-fossil fuels excavation because his alternative was to purchase it from other countries, but now that other oil companies are now like, fuck America, like they're just turning their back on us and building their own economy. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Well, and then, the newest development is I believe 2 of the BRICS alliance members have allegedly created a foreign policy to where they ousted American currency, so where they were only needed to go between the 2 countries, between their own 2 currencies. So as far as them 2 individual countries, and as far as the BRICS alliance, they already ousted American currency.
So I don't know if you caught all that, Drew. Do you
No,
understand?
that kind of makes sense, actually, really, because if you think about it, oil always controls the planet. You know what I mean? The dollar, no matter what dollar you're using, whether it's the fucking Swiss franc, the pound, pesos, or whatever it is, it's only valuable dependent on what the government that creates its debt is. You know what I mean? What the debt of that country is, it gives the value of that money. So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense that, I mean, if you think about it, the countries that are in cahoots of that are people that don't really give a fuck about humanitarian rights or what happens to the earth or where the resources are coming from or how they're ascertaining those resources. Because on the other end of it, if you look at what they're building from this is basically the biggest and the best the world has ever seen. Like, look at Abu Dhabi. You know what I mean? Exactly. It's all built off of slavery oil money. And it's the best. It's got the best technology. It's got the best buildings. It's got the best.
And remind me of my, was Dubai in what country? Or is it its own country?
I believe that's its own.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
In Saudi Arabia? I'm not sure. I don't know where the fuck that is. That might have been racist as fuck to say that.
I don't know.
I
Sorry.
have no idea. I know it's Abu Dhabi, and I know that's not the place I would really want to be, but I know that it's also the place that's marketed as the place you want to be because it has the best of anything to offer. But I mean, the only people that can afford it is people that like, yeah, $1 million,
filthy rich,
$2 million, $250,000, and they ain't shit to them.
Supposedly over there in Dubai, they have like the tallest tower or building.
Yeah, you got to remember, like, there's a lot of these individuals out there in Saudi Arabia or wherever it's at that they have money that's like doesn't even need to be reported to. You know what I mean? They're not billionaires, they're trillionaires. You know what I mean?
They wipe their ass with $100 bills.
They really do. Just because they know that there's people that need it so badly, they do that because it's funny to them.
If anything, it's if anything, it's not like over here. People normally just driving Hondas. Over there, they're driving like Ferraris or.
Yeah, it's on that topic, there's in Dubai, I was watching a YouTuber, there's a supercar land lot of supercars in Saudi Arabia somewhere. I don't know where he specified it.
Yeah, these fuckers just buy that shit and ditch them.
Yeah, so there's a supercar land, like a landfill of supercars in Saudi Arabia, like fucking Shelby's, classics as well, like classic cars, like Ultra
one-offs, not even just classics, just like literally
even golden
like
cars like today. Yeah,
things that like Ferrari prides itself on build, like it's a historical vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ferrari
just chilling out there collecting
Ferrari
dust in the fucking middle of the desert.
Fucking Ferrari has a patent. If you modify their automobiles in any way, shape, or form, they could sue your ass.
Yeah, they've come out there a couple people.
And then you got people in Saudi Arabia just dropping them like, fuck this $100,000 car, bro. Like, I'm gonna give a fuck.
I'm gonna leave
and
it
that's
in this
the whole
ditch.
reason why they stay. Like we sit here like thinking like, how does a company that sells cars exuberantly higher than anybody could ever afford stay in business, especially at times like this where motherfuckers are like, it's like 6-7 people to a household just to put shit together. You know what I mean? And these motherfuckers are buying houses just to ditch it for a week.
It's the 1%, bro. The 1% rules the market.
Yeah, and over the past 2 years, the 1% accumulated more than 99% of the wealth that was earned.
And that was distributed amongst American people.
It was not distributed amongst
No, I'm saying that was not distributed amongst American
exactly,
people
yeah.
that went to the 1%ers, that American population wasn't even unable to acquire. Not even that we can acquire it, but it was already taken by the 1%ers.
Which kind of goes back to your brick shit. Like, that's our own people doing us to it, you know what I mean? And now we have, like, outside forces that can literally obliterate our economy at any moment.
If I was president, should be no reason why this man sitting to my right has $150 million in his bank account, and this man to my left is eating shit out of a dumpster.
Why do I gotta eat shit?
'Cause you look like it.
Oh, you're right.
But you know what I mean. But no, you get the analogy. You
No,
know
I
what
get
mean?
the
So it's
analogy, but, like, why do I
feel
gotta be
it's
the
fucked
shit
up,
eater?
bro? But and
You
at the
could be
same
the
time,
shit eater.
you got somebody that can throw a ball 90 miles an hour that gets paid $200 million in a contract.
Well,
You know what I mean?
well, okay. You have to have, I believe you have to have capitalism. You have to have struggle. You have to have strife, because if you keep everything equal, then motherfuckers won't do shit, and you have nothing.
And you have communism.
Yeah,
after
and you
that.
it basically turns into communism, which on paper it sounds fucking great,
No.
but when you execute it, it never works
Look
out.
at Cuba
But
and
here's
Russia.
the thing: is like no government ever really works out. It's just democracy has worked out the best so far, which we all are seeing about to crumble.
Yeah, revolution. Another revolution is gonna happen.
The fucking shadows are the curtains are being dropped.
I
you
feel like
know
there's
what
a
I mean?
big old target on our backs now, and with BRICS making this like alliance, you know what I mean? And now they're outing the dollar bill. I feel like they're like slowly fucking
it's like-
pushing US out.
It's BRICS plus Iran and Saudi Arabia now, because they got inducted into the peace treaty because of China brokered the peace treaty between them two, and they inducted them into the alliance.
So what's the U.S. gonna do?
That's
Well, that's
What-
I was
what-
gonna say.
what
If
can
I'm
we
not-
do?
If I'm not mistaken, I mean, this
No,
is
the-
basically the grounds for Cold War.
Yeah,
right?
the only ones that are
Feels like it.
directly opposing BRICS is NATO, which is like Sweden, New Zealand, and all those other little countries that
Combined,
are,
right?
Yeah.
I wonder what Cold War even means. I just dropped that.
It sounded cool, though.
Yeah.
The Cold War.
it sounded cool.
That was like 80 years ago, bro.
yeah, but it sounded cool.
Nobody said anything about that.
I heard it, and I was like, "This nigga tripping."
It sounded cool though. Like damn, there's some struggling times up
Like,
ahead.
that guy knows his shit.
Hey, it's
Anybody watching this for educational value was like, all right.
What are your thoughts, bro?
hey, it's the Cold War too, dog.
These guys were on something till then.
I wonder what it was.
Hey man, let's just move to Texas so we could walk around with guns and
All of
bazookas.
America just moved to Texas.
I knew this guy.
Let's
was gonna
go.
say something.
Hey man, at that point, like, you know,
We'll all move to Texas and then go to war against Russia and China together.
It'd be like Red Dawn.
hey man, it's Texas.
The Texans and the Americans
Yes,
allied. Like,
And that one Raider
isn't
fan.
Texas in America?
Hey, we'll hold that out in the Alamo,
You
dog.
know.
The one Raider fan. Go ahead and out yourself so I can randomly shoot you in the distance, motherfucker.
You don't know what Raider piece I'll have on.
I'm sure the Russians will. Anything with the Raiders outfit, they'll shoot it.
We got camo on.
Get the mic away from
I
that.
got this Raider fan, bruh. Despicable.
Like, you had something to say good last time. Now you're losing your touch, man. All right. Well, let's. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What do you think is gonna happen to the U.S. dollar now? Now that China and Brazil can just trade amongst themselves, they don't need no middleman no more. They don't need to change the Brazilian money to U.S. dollars to change it to Chinese dollars. Now it's Brazil to China, no U.S. What is happening to the U.S. dollar now? Drew, let's start with you.
All right. If I'm thinking logically about it, Bitcoin is the obvious like enemy towards that. So I think as a superpower for America trying to maintain as a superpower would probably implement some type of like certain rules and regulations on why mysteriously other economic values and and currencies would no longer be acceptable in America, and why tariffs and certain trading would be like exponentially higher between countries to increase the value of the American dollar.
So you
But
think
I don't see America ever letting Bitcoin actually taking over. I don't think it would happen. I think America would actually even go as far as letting the stock market fucking completely crash before that shit fucking happened, which would effectively make Bitcoin valueless. You know what I mean? Because who the fuck cares if one Bitcoin is equivalent to $32 fucking million when $32 million is equivalent to fucking $1.
Or like 2
or
pounds
nothing.
of silver.
Yeah, weren't we talking about this a couple
Yeah.
podcast episodes ago
So-
where we would have to trade gold for stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
okay. I was
or
even,
silver?
I was
Yeah,
even just gonna
Richard
say
brought
my,
that
my,
up.
my homeboy was even talking about this. He's like, remember in the early 2000s, everybody was trying to fucking get your fucking gold. It was always like trade in for gold, trade in for gold, trade in for gold. It's because they already knew that this shit was coming. Like this,
they were
like,
getting ahead of the game.
You know what I mean? And it's always
Motherfuckers.
been that, like
Natural
for
resources.
natural resources where it's at. Like gold is one of them. Gold is kind of the easiest
Silver.
for the population to get over. Silver is one of them. I think the real one that you want to get like your hands on is cobalt, though. Like if you control cobalt,
Well, cobalt is because of the phones and shit. But I feel
Exactly.
like the most expensive one in general should be copper because like you have to build sewage with that shit and a lot of plumbing. too,
Well,
that shit.
yeah,
People
but
shit a
that,
lot.
Like that does, yes, for civilization. But you have to remember, like you said, for phones and shit, like technology is kind of where it's at now. Like
Well,
if you
cobalt's-
control like the technology, you can shut down an entire nation.
50 unfortunate African kids were digging in the ground just to find enough cobalt to build one iPhone.
Right, and think about what
Fuck
all those
cobalt, bro.
iPhones are doing. Like again, almost all those iPhones got fucking TikTok on it, and they're stopping anybody from doing anything fucking productive with their life.
Yep.
And
You know what? TikTok is another. My bad, bro. TikTok was another major thing about another foreign influence that a lot of the what it is that Kim Jong Un implemented that like any type of social media platform that is in his within his country automatically has to comply with him and his people, and when they do comply with him and his people, they're automatically sworn to secrecy. So now that TikTok has a major corporation in America,
you said Kim Jong Un,
well,
that's North Korea.
regardless, I mean, like foreign policies, regardless of who it is, like wherever the fuck TikTok is out of, they have a foreign policy to where their ruler.
Okay, yeah, even
Demand
okay,
all their
yeah.
information.
TikTok, right? So
Yeah.
TikTok, fucking in China, TikTok cannot even like show any videos that are not educational.
Yeah, I was gonna say something.
No, but that's the thing too, and the things that are not, they have a fucking policy with their country that all the information that they've gathered in foreign countries has to be handed over to their government.
Yeah. So China is a communist country, and that's why like a lot of shit goes down over there. But here's the opposite side of it. Like, so that TikTok shit, right? They in China, they control TikTok, and they use that shit to brainwash their own country into being the best that they can possibly be. They literally, like, because they know that the kids, the adults, everybody fucking sits there on fucking TikTok. They make everything just be doctrination of celebrate China, celebrate the communist country, and learn math, learn science, learn this. And like you were saying, any information that's not with that is literally filtered out and thrown in the trash. But the trash is America. They throw it straight over here where it's just fucking these motherfuckers
Dance
out here
moves
doing
or
this
pranks.
shit.
Yeah, eventually
what
it's
the fuck I
overtime.
ate today? You all want to see me fucking drink a beer?
Yeah, and the video that I was watching, the guy was saying that
Fucking
the guy was saying that it's not gonna happen now, it might not happen tomorrow, but over time it's gonna dumb down and fuck up our society, and our youth is our youth is what's America's power, what made America powerful.
What's crazy is I suggest you to watch this. Is a German scientist that we got a hold of during World War II, and this fool was talking all about how German scientists and Chinese scientists were studying about the indoctrination of misinformation to the public, and that the German scientists, Russian scientists, or the USSR at the time, way back when, were already implementing this into the American government. Part of the hippie revolution in America was funded and like produced by the Chinese government.
As far as LSD,
Yeah, all
Yeah,
of
I
that
know,
because
yeah.
they wanted us to. They wanted us
to break down the
rebel
American
against the
economy.
government. So they wanted us to question the information
The
we got,
revolution.
because then they were going to start mass producing information where it's basically like, I forgot what they call it, but like they're just going to put out so much information.
Propaganda.
not even just propaganda. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, there's like a lot of truth and there's a lot of mistruth. Where like
That's what propaganda is.
No, propaganda is actually more
It's
of a
lies and truth,
propaganda is, but it towards a certain objective, right?
which is what they're doing to
And
dumb down American society.
True, but they're doing it in a much more broader aspect where we assume
time,
that
yeah.
we're doing it to ourselves. Exactly, where we question everything, we argue everything, which at the end of the day, yeah, of course, honestly, and you go back and forth. That's like a free spirit. You're like, we should question everything, we should argue against everything. I should have everything to myself. But at the same time, when you live in the fucking world where we actually live in today, where like you have like whole ass countries that want to fucking come over here and fucking just take over us because we're filthy fucking Americans. That's literally their mindset. It don't go no more further than that. They just want us dead because we live here, and that's it. Like, they fucking utilize that and they know that, and then they fucking start harvesting that shit, and then we have like in like these like weird ass invasions
Generations.
exactly. We don't have like, and like don't fucking matter like how much we're over here free fucking spirited. China's been over there fucking making an entire fucking multi-man army that fucking wants to come over here and turn us into China too.
As far as the big boomers and the major men in our previous generations that have actually went to hard and fucking battle, like, and did all that type of shit, like, since that era, well, granted, you got Afghanistan hardened troops and shit like that are current and shit, but back in the day, as far as like being like to the nail, American has fall off, bro. Like, look at our kids today.
Yeah, okay, but like, here's the thing though. Look at this, like,
look at a Russian kid compared to American kids today.
Think about the government that our forefathers were fighting for in World War I, and World War II, right? Most of it at the time, I want to say most in World War I, most of our government was not out here on some conspiracy bullshit to take over the fucking world.
We were all
and
one.
Fucking do
Yeah.
exactly. By World War II, though, we definitely had a lot of people in the government that were like, they didn't see it as taking over the world, but they definitely saw it as like expendable forces in order to sustain a better, brighter future.
Yeah, I feel like somebody, whoever had that idea, reached out a little bit and bit off more than they could chew. And
Well, I mean, like, what do you do, bro? It's the fucking world. It's the entire public. You know what I mean? Everybody's got fucking free world. Everybody wants to do something different. And I guarantee you, even though somebody is doing something that's like non-physical, non-verbal, that freedom infringes on somebody else's fucking freedom and personal beliefs. You know what I mean? And how do you control that? It's almost impossible to control that. Like, we're at this day and age where everybody's like all about I, because really, because you're just like, it's like, what can you do? Like, celebrate yourself, do your own truth. So, you know what I mean? Nobody's gonna look out for you but yourself. But when you get into the world that like does that, and then they're like, we're like, well, where's the compassion? It's like, why am I supposed to have compassion for? I've only been looking out for myself. You know what I mean? And that's kind
20
of
plus years.
like, and that's kind of where like it used to come from, like the world's copaceticness. Like, if you look at like the Middle Eastern areas, like back in the 60s and the 70s, those places were a dope ass place to be. You know what I mean? You read books about like people that were just like traveling the country, like going through fucking Pakistan, going through fucking Egypt, and it was fucking nothing. They were sleeping on a bike because the world was actually more fucking peaceful.
Yeah.
But now it's like everybody's trying to
get
like
stabbed by a bum and shit.
use the fact that you're infringing on my fucking beliefs as a reason to fucking taking over their beliefs more and more.
I feel like America's only reason was like, give me your oil.
That was one reason, you know, where we went to another country. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, we started like thinking that like we kind of got to make everybody believe our way to do that. But that's everybody else's response. You know what I mean? It's not like everybody else didn't have that same game plan,
But I
because
feel like
what do you do when you have to control the world?
I feel like the major powers have finally had enough and just stepped back and like, you know what, fuck America. We literally outranked them in everything as far as like
Education.
mathematics, education, and
Physical.
shit, like, physically. So and yeah, well, there are other foreign countries statistics saying that by 2027, all of America, or at least 70% of America, should be obese and out of weight, out of physical compliance to do physical shit. So it's like, if that's where other nations are ranking us, bro, what the fuck are we doing, bro?
Eating a lot of cheeseburgers.
We're encouraging it, really.
Well, guys, let's
I like cheeseburgers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aaron.
God damn it!
Filling in
I'm
that
glad
stereotype.
You said it. I love a cheeseburger.
All right, well, let's wrap it up, guys. Let's get our final thoughts on the topic. Drew, what do you feel with this alliance between Brazil and China, getting rid of the dollar? How is the U.S. gonna live? Not live, but like keep going with this situation. Like, what is our future plans, or what is your thoughts on the future plans?
That's a good question there, Mr. Brad Pitt.
Only in the future.
You know what? I believe that's why my podcast is called Beer on Doomsday, bro. Like,
Okay.
fucking, those are problems that are way beyond me and anything that I could ever really do about it. You know what I mean? And
I feel you. Okay.
it's the end. So pour up a whiskey and have a beer.
Watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
What about you, Armando? What final thoughts on the whole currency exchange, the U.S. dollar coming out?
Well, as far as the allegedly fucking whole foreign policy that they fucking implemented on 2 days ago, I feel like that's gonna have some type of ripple effect. As far as what, I'm not too sure what it is right now. As far as on the American economy, so I guess we just have to wait and see and play that waiting game. You know what I mean? And hand it off to this pretty lady right here.
Yeah, let's give it to Aaron. Nah, we gotta hear his final thoughts. Aaron, final thoughts on the situation, what you just heard. Anything to your mind, just let us know.
No.
Come on, what's on your thoughts?
Oh, I only know about pesos, honestly. So like, I could tell you about pesos if you want, but like,
We ain't trying to get kisses here, dog.
no, like, TJ currency, Mexican currency. I
All
know
right, so
about
you weren't
that.
paying attention.
God.
Everything else about you guys saying about the dollar and everything, no. Sorry, not sorry.
It's all right, man. You'll catch it. You'll catch it in the podcast. My final thoughts is.
All right, guys, we're out of time.
Yeah, we're out of time. So I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Leave a comments down below. Y'all, I want to thank Aaron for coming, Armando for coming, Drew, thank you for coming. Do you have any shout outs you want to do or end of the show?
Just, shout out to my other home podcast, Beyond Doomsday. If y'all want to check it out, Beyond Doomsday on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Shout out to me.
Shout out to Aaron, my boy, Armando, Brad Pitt. Thank you guys very much for having me on here. We out of time, though.